Yo, couple more minutes, gonna get started for today's live. Couple more minutes, gonna get started. So today's live. Good, good. Excellent. Going live. We're going live with the mindset change for this evening. All right. So that's the mindset switch that you really truly need in order to get to the next level. You know, I always talk about leveling up. I'm always talking about bettering yourself. I'm always talking about improving and enhancing your situation. But what comes along with that is having the mentality and the mental fortitude to actually truly be able to do that. You know, because before we even get into the straight game, speaking of Wednesdays, that's straight game already. They having that mindset change of actually something triggered inside of your psyche to the point you like, man, it makes sense. Oh man, this is what I want. You know, we're looking to turn those particular thoughts of aspiration into actually events of execution, right? Because you already know who I am. Your boy Benny, Mr. Do It Scared, the one and only. And I coined myself that because no matter what I've been faced with, I'm always stepping out there and doing it. I'm always stepping out there and trying it because I can only fail if I don't do anything. So my whole particular position in this thing that we call life is to provide my friends, provide my family, provide those that are near and dear and around me that particular motivation that's needed to get to the next level, right? So because I'm giving that motivation to get to the next level, because if you don't do it for you, who's going to do it for you? You know what I mean? So we live in these particular times to where it is heavily important, very heavily important for you to take action. You know, too often we sit back and we want this and we want that. We desire this, we desire that. But yet we still are doing everything that puts us on a road to not accomplishing that. And that's why I always talk about that particular vision. It's about your vision, because your vision is going to keep you on that road to where you're truly actually trying to go. Your purpose is going to have you wandering all over the place because why? You're looking for a purpose. You're waiting for the purpose to find you. You're waiting for the purpose to fall out of the sky. But when you chase your particular vision, you already got it by your internal spirit that's already built inside of you, right? Because you're pre-programmed already. You're pre-programmed into make the mistake that you made in your past. You're pre-programmed to go to the events that you've gone through in your past. You're pre-programmed to think the way that you have up until the point that you think currently. Why? Because all of that was to put you in a place to where you experience things to physically put you in a place to where now you're living out your true intent, right? What's the whole essence of prayer? What's the whole essence of asking for things when it's concerning your spiritual self, right? When you pray to the higher power, you pray to the Most High, you do these particular things, and you're asking for what? You're asking for Him to put you in a different mindset, asking for Him to put you in a different place, right? So what comes along with that is the action behind those prayers, the actions behind those requests. Because you can hope and wish all day long, I can guarantee you nothing will happen. And I say that not saying that a miracle won't happen, but I say that in understanding from experience that nothing comes from nothing. If I'm thirsty and I never put anything inside of that cup, I can throw that cup back all day. I can guarantee you nothing will come out of that cup. You let it sit for a couple of days, I may be proven wrong because you may have some dust particles in there that you're going to consume. But to be truly nourished, right, by what you're seeking after, which is to take care of that particular thirst that you're desiring, that comes with action, right? So today's straight game, first and foremost, we get into this mindset switch, because the mindset switch is the driving factor for everything that comes behind it. If you want to be a better father, if you want to be a better son, if you want to be a better spouse, if you want to be a better partner, if you want to be a better business owner, if you want to be a better employee, whatever your particular walk is in life, it starts with the mental first. And I can't forget this. If you want to be a better spiritual person, if you want to be enhanced to a particular level, oh man, you know, he dealing with me. When you start thinking like that, it puts you in a more confident space, not an arrogant space, but a confident space, and understanding that what I'm thinking, what I desire, I can actually truly manifest that by doing what? By acting upon it, by executing upon it, and by always pouring inside of me. Because you can't have these two outputs if you don't do that input. So in order for you to get to the next level, and no matter what it is that you're doing, I coerce you today, this evening, to take upon that mindset switch, right? But never do it alone. And when I say don't do it alone, you have to have those driving forces, those invisible powers that are pushing you. All right. So you take that for what it is, for what you understand it to be. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna turn this off here. So I'm streaming live for those that are on the webinar link. If you don't have the webinar link, you can click the link in the bio and register for it absolutely free. All right. So if you're on the live, then you'll basically be able to just see my person. But I'm going to pull up something on the screen right here and begin to broadcast and share it, just to cover a few things. So I won't hold you long tonight because I want to make some quick points going into this particular mindset change that is necessary. And along with that, I want to cover real briefly the next step and the next phase of you actually elevating, right? So 3 categories. You have the mindset switch, the mindset change that you need. You have getting yourself in position to utilize that mindset switch to change and enhance and improve your situation, right? So we're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about changing the situation, how to do that via credit. And then we're going to talk about what to do with that particular credit. All right. And those 3 right there, I'm telling you, is a game changer. And it can take you either one day, it can take you 1 week, it can take you 1 month, it can take you 6 months, it can take you 5 years. Why? Because that timing is strictly dependent upon you, right? So it's what you desire. Let's do this. Let's do this. So hopefully better see the screen. Let me do something real quick. Bam. All right, so the Straight Game live webinar. Like I always say, you know who I am. Ben and Mr. Do It Scared. I'm an entrepreneur who just simply want to teach you how to get additional streams of income to combat your additional bills, right? Thank you. So you have additional bills coming in: water bill, light bill, gas bill, food bill, family bills, people that ask you for money bills, like all these bills that are always pulling away from you. What are you doing to combat that in order to have additional streams? You have a lot of outflow. You have a lot of outsourcing, a lot of outstream. So what about the inflow, the influx of the income to balance that out, right? And for anybody that's into the Bible says that an unjust weight and an unjust balance is an abomination. So how how are you balancing out your physical life to make it balanced in what the spirit is telling you, right? So your spiritual life, your physical life, it has to be balanced out. All right. So in order for you to be able to understand that additional streams of income is important, that comes with a mindset switch, right? And as I always speak, it's not about, oh, I need more money or I need additional income. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go get another job. Oh man, I'm on my grind now. I'm gonna go get a third job. So here you are trading all of this time for a little bit of money. The thing that we have to understand is not about making money for the long term and utilizing our bodies to accumulate additional funds by giving time to it. It's about making money faster, right? With lesser hours that it takes to physically work on it. And that's how you get introduced to passive income and also multiple streams of income, right? So how I made my first six figures was that particular mindset change. Because as I grew up, man, I was a complete workhorse. All I knew was work. All I knew was making a dollar. All I knew was getting paid. And the only thing that I understood was that I have to physically do these particular things in order for something to shake. But as I grew older and older and older and older, I started to understand it's not it's not truly about the time that you put into it, because how is this person who's always on the golf range, always in the pool hall, always in the bowling range, always spending time with their significant other, always doing this, right? Basically always having time, is able to prosper financially more than someone who is giving all their time and effort into working a job, right? So this particular blueprint that I went by, it allowed me to have at minimum six figures in my 20s. And just progressively speaking, through trial and error, I have this particular blueprint, you know what I'm saying, that we talk about, that makes the burden easier, right? Because that's what we want. We want things to be easier, not harder, right? So I found my vision, as I mentioned earlier, and said, forget this purpose thing, man. And we're no longer talking about a purpose, because a purpose had me sitting around waiting for the best moment, the most ideal situation. That was a horrible thing to do, because what you do is that you waste time looking left and looking right and say, oh, you're waiting on the purpose. It didn't come this year. And you sit back and you wait, and then you wait another year, and you wait another year, and you wait another year. Before you know it, 5 years have gone by and you've done absolutely nothing. Right? So I realized that your purpose leaves you sitting, waiting for something to fall into your lap, or you are searching high and low for this particular purpose to pop up. It never does. All right. So your vision shows you your destination. So if you can see where to go, if you're driving to where you know you want to go, if you need to go down this particular street, this particular lane, this particular avenue, this particular road, your eyes see that you need to go down this road to get to where you are trying to go, right? Compare that to a purpose. What does a purpose get you? The purpose is at the end destination. After your vision takes you there, the purpose is there waiting for you, right? So you have to go after the purpose, and the only way you can do that is build your vision. And that's why I said, because I contemplated on what to actually discuss for today. I said, we're going to go into the money part. You know, we're going to talk about getting this bag and this funding. I said, you can't even fathom that until you have the mental down pat. Because even if you were in position to do these particular plays and you run them and you execute on them, now you have this, then what you're going to do? You're going to be at a standstill. If I show you a way to go get $5, $10, $15, $20, $25,000 today in personal funding or business funding, what are you going to do with it? Right? So your vision shows you your destination, hence the path to execute upon. So my goal is to help you recognize your vision so you can act now, right? In place of waiting for this miraculous purpose to fall out of the sky. So at the end of this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a special, right? I have some ebooks, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to deliver a message at the end of this, because a great majority of the information that I speak upon, I already have it written down. It just simply just take you putting in the energy and the effort to say, man, you know what, I want to improve my situation. Or you know what, I don't like where I'm currently at right now. Like, you got to grit your teeth when you say something like that. Like, you really have to mean it. You got to feel it, because it comes a particular point in time to when playing gets played out, and you're either going to realize it soon enough, or you're going to realize it at the right moment, or you're going to realize it when it's too late. Right? Meaning too late is a point, because I never think it's too late, but a lot of people are discouraged by what they believe is too late. For me, it's never too late. If you need to be a better you and improve you, when is that late? You have 80-year-olds and 90-year-olds that still go to the gym, and you think they said, man, it's too late for me to work out. I should have did that when I was in my 20s. Like, no. If you have a problem spending money, it's never too late to be like, you know what, I need to chill out. You can't be like, well, I always did it. So what makes this webinar different, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like it's never too late. It's definitely never too late. I'm telling you. If you need to be an improved spiritual person, it's never too late to be converted and be healed. If you need to improve your financial situation, it's never too late to snap out of those bad habits. If you need to improve your physical health, it's never too late to make a mental change that's going to bring forth a physical change. It's never too late. It's never too late. It's only too late when you expire, right? If you're in a mortuary, you have waited entirely too late, and now you left a burden onto others that were behind you. So like I said, we covered the mindset alignment, right? We covered the mindset alignment and what it takes in order to be a better you, a more mature you, because that's what it's all about. You want to be able to enhance your intellectual self in order to be able to fathom what's truly out there for you. Because the only thing that you're lacking is the information. If you have the information and the instruction on what to do with it, I guarantee, hands down, you'd have a better situation, right? And we're not talking about, oh, I want to change my mindset so I can be a millionaire. I want to change my mindset so I can be rich, so I can be wealthy, so you can be a big dummy with that too. You're already not doing what you're supposed to with what you have. So that's not what we talk about. We talk about being able to take the current situation, the past experiences, and enhance them tier by tier and layer by layer. So this information actually places you en route to having excellent credit. All right. And I go through the particular program and platform that my company uses in order to put everybody in a position to where they need to be able to ultimately get to where they want to go. Right. So learning how to leverage your credit, that comes after having yourself in position. Because as I mentioned, it's mindset, it's putting yourself in position, and then it's knowing what to do when you're in position. All right. And so ultimately, you learn how to invest in you, because that's what it's all about. And I saw someone went live earlier today, and they said the realest investment is investing in yourself. And that's something that I use quite often, because if you were to place an investment in something else or something else or something else, that's fine and dandy. But if you have always neglected to invest in yourself or reinvest in you, then you're neglecting yourself. And I love me some me. So it sounds harsh, but in order for you to be better to others, you got to be good to yourself first. In order for you to be outgoing and just pouring into other people, you have to be able to pour into you first. Because if you invest in you first, you'll be able to invest in them regardless, right? So you'll be able to be a better version of yourself to you, for you, and then ultimately you'll be able to serve and love on everybody else better, right? So we'll give a few lists of the passive income streams as well, right? So I've done a lot of things right. Like, so after doing this for over 10 years, I discovered, like I mentioned, mindset is everything. If you don't have the right mindset, you're not ready. Credit is king. You know, we were taught to never use your credit cards. We were taught to never go into debt. We were taught to never use other people's money. But that's a big mistake, right? Also, I discovered using other people's money is truly where it's at. Going into credit. I'm not talking about me borrowing money for you and I run off with it. I'm talking about truly being able to, hey, bro, I need this. Hey, can you loan me this? Or hey, I need this. Are you doing it to improve your situation, or you doing it to maintain your situation? But if you're doing it to do anything that is on the contrary to that, then you're not improving your situation. You're just getting by, right? So the greatest investment is investing in you, right? So passive income covers you in case of a layoff, whether you're terminated, whether you have another disaster or man-made pandemic, whatever the case may be. If we have something that comes in to where now it's like, oh man, you get one of those big meetings at work, and now everybody's, giving everybody that I don't know about this look, right? Everybody in the break room whispering and murmuring, talking about the big man came into town. You can walk in there like, I don't know about y'all. I got this property, I got this Airbnb, I got this credit agency, I got this tax company, right? I got this trucking industry, I got trucks on the road, like whatever it is, because all it takes is one. Like I'm not talking about just being this extravagant entrepreneur right off the bat. I'm talking about simply getting started, and it starts with the mindset. So I've done a lot of things wrong and I've completely screwed up. A lot of times, man, I've made horrible mistakes, mistakes that I regret, mistakes that I just thank the Lord that He put me through, right? But don't let anyone who hasn't been in your shoes tell you how to tie your laces, because only you know yourself good as you, right? And one thing that I shouldn't have done was that I shouldn't have listened to others, right? Especially family members, because they're your first haters, they're your first enemies, they're the first ones who don't like what you're doing because they feel like all of a sudden you better than me, right? Thought debt was all bad. There's a such thing as good debt. If you go into debt to improve your situation, as I mentioned, that's good debt, because now you can yield a return on it. But if you go into debt for a bad debt, let's say, for example, if I give you a list of banks and you go out tomorrow, Thursday, banks open up, and here you go and you apply for some funding. You get approved. Now, the first thing you do is book you a trip to Europe. That's bad debt. That's horrible. That's a horrible decision. If you didn't have no plan in order to be able to immediately pay that back or pay it back incrementally, then you made a bad decision, right? Number three, I allowed my thinking to be small. And at this particular point in my life, bro, you can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna listen to you and I'm gonna respect you, and we're gonna build and grow. But I think so far outside the box that only way you could be around me and I like you and I appreciate you and I love on you is because you gotta have that same like mind. You gotta be so great that you can blow a mountain over and it's gonna tilt. All right, not cocky, not arrogant, but confident in what you know and confident in what you do. All right, because I always say this: if you great today, tomorrow gonna take care of itself. If you great today, tomorrow is going to take care of itself. Why? Because you are simply going to repeat. You're going to repeat it naturally. So if I know I'm being my best self today, if I know I'm being great today, I'm not worried about tomorrow, right? Lord, will I live until tomorrow? But I know that if you allow me to live today in my greatness, man, I'm gonna be great tomorrow. And that's that confidence that I want to exude. That's that confidence in what I want to portray, right? And that's why I say this is different. This is different. This is uncut, unscripted, and we really need to hear this, right? In order to do what? Have that mindset change to where you get a mindset alignment into what it is that you truly want to accomplish, right? So I've been complacent in the past with just having a good job. Like I said, making six figures in my 20s. People dream with that. And that became just like, oh man, I've done what so many desire to just have checked off their list as I'm good. I allowed that to be me in the beginning. So I also thought that having additional streams of income was something that non-black and brown people do, right? Meaning what? I thought that it was not accomplishable. But I discovered this the hard way, right? But you get to cheat and get it the easy way. Why? Because the Lord just put it upon my heart to just do this. You know why? Because I always sought after a purpose. I sought after a purpose for so long. I even prayed for it. I said, Lord, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? And then I stopped. One, out of frustration because the purpose never came, right? But when I stopped, it was placed inside of me like, where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? I said, I want to do this. I answered my own question. Sitting around waiting for a purpose, bro. Sitting around waiting for a purpose, right? So the hard way is most people work to retire. That's wrong. Most people think getting a second or third job is all the financial problems. That's wrong. It's not true. All right. And most people buy a lottery ticket and hope for the best, right? All of these are just sitting back and waiting for your situation to change without you doing anything for it. Okay. Without you doing anything additional for it, because you can work for 35, 40 years, if that's what you also desire to do, and think that your 401k and your pension is going to be there to sustain you for that duration of time, But even the Bible tells you as well that, a righteous man leaveth an inheritance for his children. What inheritance are you leaving? What example are you setting? What are you showing when you displaying, right? So the easy way, right, is designed to give you step by step, and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face, right? Having that particular mental alignment to where you know that once you make your mind up, you're going to change the game. Like you were actually going to be an entirely different person to the point that you are unrecognizable. You keep your head down and you follow the blueprint, and you just stay focused, not dedicated. Like, for example, like even right now, if you're distracted, you're on the TV, you're on your other phone, you eating snacks, like you're doing all these particular things that are sideways, contrary to focusing in on what it is that's being poured into you. You're allowing other things to be octopuses and pulled you here and pulled you there. That's one mistake to understand and know yourself, that it's certain things that you need to switch up here, right? Because when you make your mind up, especially in the beginning, you are onto my laser vision focus, right? So when it comes to this, it's no guessing, because you ask me a question, we got the answer. You want to know how to do this? We can show you how to do that. You want this done? Okay, this can be executed. What's your next step? It's all about the play-by-plays that you truly actually want to desire. And how do I know this? Life, for one, my life experiences, but also within the past 5 years, I've invested thousands and thousands of dollars in mentorships, ebooks, mastermind classes, webinars, VIP business meetings. And I didn't quit and say, man, it's too hard, because it is hard. It is hard. But what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be weak. I'm gonna stop. Even a baby in their particular years of learning to walk, they never just stop getting back up. They constantly get back up. So when things are hard, that means that you're doing something right. When things are easy, you need to question it. You need to question whether or not you actually putting in a particular effort, right? So hanging my, what I'm saying, just being around a networking of individuals that have that particular laser vision in their craft, right? It's just being an expert in your own field, an expert in your own craft, right? Me personally, I love credit. I love credit. And these four individuals on the screen right here that you see me with, they love credit too. Hey, credit put them in positions to do exactly what I'm talking about. Get to the next level. You know, we always talk about funding. So my particular results, they aren't typical. What, right? So my disclaimer is that I provide the information, you apply the execution, right? So individual results may vary, and everybody knows that because everybody has a different driving force behind them. They have a different reason to do what they do, right? So if you're just a person who just wants something different, you could simply just be that. You could be, I'm just a person who wants to change my situation. You want to change your situation, you are already in the first phase of changing your mindset. Now you have to get to the information part. Like, man, I want it so bad, but who do I get it from? And that's not a trick question, right? Because a lot of people, they question the validity. They question the validity of individuals that they come in contact with. And that's fine and dandy because you got to try the spirit by the spirit. But what's on for you is for you already. You'll eventually, once you chase after that, I wouldn't say chase because I hate that word. Once you go down your natural path of what your vision entails for you, you're automatically going to end at where you need to be, right? And I wholeheartedly believe that, no matter what. So these particular three keys right here is most important. By the process that I use is the Metro 2 compliance software. It's a tool, right, for disputing and cleaning up your particular credit report, right? So once you have good credit, a good credit score, a good credit profile, that good credit is going to get you funding. So you can be a personal guarantor of it, or if you have your particular business, your LLC, my company does that as well, you can get it through business funding, right? And or both. It's best to do it in both because now you're able to double up. But that credit is key to creating passive income. That credit is key in order for you to be able to get someone else's funds, someone else's money, and put it in a place where you say, this is going to grow for me. Or I'm putting it over here. This is an investment into me. It's either going to work or it's going to work. All right. So I'm wrapping up real quick here. Right. So investing in particular assets with your approval funds, you can invest in mentorships. You can start a rental car business. You can start one of my favorites, the Airbnb, because I just simply love hospitality. You can get into real estate, which is another one that I truly love and desire that I want to get to the next phase in, next level in. Trucking. A lot of people are into trucking, box trucks, semi trucks, and also vending machines. If that's something that you also desire, because you can get government contracts with vending machines and have your vending machines inside of government buildings, inside of schools, right? But it's just all about simply putting yourself in position, then knowing ultimately what it is that you want to do, and then you get that funding, and you already had a blueprint to go out there and get it. All right. So this is a proof of concept right here, right? Showing you that it's real. You can't see it on here, but
that's nice.
You know, it's my daughter showing me this unit that we had.
Okay.
It's an apartment unit. It's rented out. 1 bedroom. And she's doing the walkthrough through the entire spot. Right? And like I said, the only thing you have to do is get started. You say, oh man, I need this. I want this, right? Because even if you want to keep your 9 to 5, it's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But use your 9 to 5 as your business partner. You gotta use your 9 to 5 as like, all right, every 2 weeks, I need that bread. Give them a name. Hey, John, every 2 weeks, I need that bread. A business partner give me that to, you know what I'm saying, add into the business because you got to work for you incorporated. You got to work for you solutions, right? You gotta always just kind of be invested, right? Mocha's Boutique, whatever, right? It always has to be something that evolves itself 100% of the time right back to you. It's this old saying that Jim Rohn said. He said, work harder on yourself than you work on your job. All right. So since you're still here, I'll give you a couple more banks, right? I'm gonna give you some banks for funding. These 3 particular banks right here is Key Bank, PNC Bank, and Citizen Bank. But if you're just starting out and you don't really have the credit that is necessary, these particular banks right here don't do a hard pull, and you can understand where you stand. So if you go to upgrade.com, that's Upgrade Bank, Sofi.com, Sofi Bank or SoFi, SOFI Bank, SOFI.com, and OpLoan, right? OpLoan Bank, their website is oploans.bip, and NASA Federal Credit Union, NASAFCU.com. So those particular 4 banks right there don't even do a hard pull because you don't want to have a lot of inquiries on your credit profile. But in my particular course that I'm gonna have launch, I'm gonna give you a list on how to structure it to where everything is altered because you got TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, right? You're able to jump from bank to bank just depending on which banks pull from which agency, from which bureau. All right. So that's a little more top tier advanced level information, you know, but if you're able to particularly structure it like that, in which, you know, saying we'll get into that at another time. But I hope that I was able to pour into you a little bit on this evening, just simply going into this level of mindset change and mindset switch that we do have, you know, because it's important. And the only way for anything to change is for you to change. Strike out.